You did everything right. You read the books, you practiced the mindfulness, maybe you even hit the big milestones, the promotion, the relationship, the awakening moment where the world finally made sense. For a few weeks, or maybe a few months, you felt like you were floating. You saw the patterns, you saw the matrix, you realized that the hustle, the noise, and the ego were all just a game. And then the engine died. Suddenly, the things that used to set your soul on fire feel like wet matches. You aren't sad exactly, you aren't depressed in the way the textbooks describe it, you're just finished. You've stopped chasing, you've stopped caring. You're sitting in the middle of a life you built, wondering why the volume has been turned down to zero. Most people will tell you that you're lazy. Your doctor might tell you that you're burnt out. Your spiritual friends might tell you that you've reached detachment, but none of those labels feel right, do they? The truth, you are currently experiencing a simultaneous failure of your biological hardware and your psychological software. You are caught between the dopamine epinephrine system of an animal and the individuation process of a soul. Today, we are going to learn how to work your machinery again. We are going to explore why the void is a biological necessity, why Carl Jung predicted your current lack of motivation, and how to rebuild a drive that isn't fueled by anxiety, but by truth. If you feel like you're rotting in a beautiful cage of your own making, stay with me. This is the manual they never gave you. Let's start with the hardware. Your brain is a masterpiece of survival engineering, and its primary fuel is dopamine. But here is the billion-dollar misunderstanding. Most of us were taught that dopamine is the pleasure molecule. We think we get a hit of dopamine when we eat the pizza, win the award, or buy the car. We are wrong. Dopamine is the molecule of pursuit. It is the chemical of "look over there." Imagine a grazing animal, like a sheep or a deer. It's on a barren landscape, dying of thirst. It doesn't have the energy to move, but suddenly it catches the faint scent of water. At that exact moment, before it drinks, dopamine is released. Dopamine is what gives that animal the energy to run the final mile when it thought it was going to die. It's not glycogen or ketones that suddenly appear, it's the neurochemical promise of a reward. The epinephrine cousin. Dopamine doesn't work alone. It has a close cousin called epinephrine, otherwise known as adrenaline. Most people don't know this, but adrenaline is actually manufactured from the molecule of dopamine. They're a team. Dopamine says, "I want that," and adrenaline provides the physical gas pedal to go get it. The post-awakening crash. Now think about your life. Before your shift, you were motivated by the scent of water. You wanted the house, the status, the enlightenment. You were spiking your dopamine and adrenaline every single day. But then you arrived, or you realized the water was a mirage. When you have a major spiritual insight or a massive success, you hit a dopamine peak. And the law of biology is absolute. What goes up must come down. After a peak, your dopamine scale resets, but it doesn't reset to the middle. It swings into a deficit. This is why postpartum depression exists in more than just childbirth. It exists in the CEO who sells his company. It exists in the seeker who finally gets it. You aren't unmotivated, you are chemically saturated. Your system is offline because you've exhausted the pursuit chemical, and your brain is trying to protect you from burning out your receptors. While your biology is crashing, your psychology is undergoing something even more radical. You are experiencing what Carl Jung called the death of the persona. For the first half of your life, your motivation was fueled by the persona. This is the mask you wore to function in society. You worked hard because you wanted to be seen as good, smart, or powerful. This ego-driven striving is the primary fuel for 99% of the world. But an awakening, whether it's spiritual, intellectual, or emotional, strips the mask. You see through the game. You realize that your career was a performance for parents who didn't understand you, or that your goals were just a way to avoid feeling small. The result? Silence.
Without the mask, you have no lines to speak. You're like an actor who stepped off the stage and realized they don't know who they are without the script. This is the goo phase. To the outside world, the cocoon looks still. It looks like nothing is happening. But inside, the caterpillar is metabolizing. It is turning into goo. If you feel unmotivated right now, it's because you are in the goo phase. Your ego-driven adrenaline fuel has run out, and your soul-driven fuel hasn't been tapped yet. You are currently a liquid. You can't hustle when you're a liquid. You can't 5-year plan when you're dissolving. Jung warned that our modern culture avoids this phase at all costs. We call it a crisis and try to medicate it or fix it with more productivity. But Jung believed this sacred pause was essential for individuation, the process of becoming your whole authentic self. You aren't failing, you are transforming.
But the ego is panicking because it thinks stillness equals death. There is another reason you might be stalling. It's something I call the responsibility paradox. As we've explored in our previous deep dives, most of our stress doesn't come from our actual lives. It comes from the phantom timeline, that ghost of who you were supposed to be by now. But when you awaken, you realize that the timeline was a lie. You realize that you were the author of your own meaning, and that realization is terrifying. Responsibility removes distance. When you are struggling or oppressed by life, there is a gap between your choices and the outcomes. You can blame the economy, your boss, or your upbringing. There is a quiet comfort in having someone else to blame. It preserves the ego. It says, I could have been great if only. But responsibility is a vacuum. It removes the excuses. When you carry the weight of a stable, awakened life, the buffer of bad luck is taken away. If you fail now, it feels like a definition of who you are. This is why so many people engage in upper limit problems. They sabotage their progress just as things are starting to get good. They aren't afraid of failing. They are afraid of the naked exposure of accountability. They stay unmotivated because almost better is the safest place to be. As long as you're still trying to find your spark, you don't have to face the terrifying silence of actually having every choice in the world. So, how do we get the engine to start again?
How do we move from the goo phase to the butterfly phase without falling back into the ego trap? We have to learn to work our machinery differently. We have to shift from external rewards to internal trajectory. Step 1. Subjective dopamine attachment. Smart people learn to celebrate the process of effort, not the result. If you only give yourself a win when you reach the finish line, you will crash. But if you can tell yourself, registering that friction, that craving, that desire to push, that is the win, you start to release dopamine during the struggle. You must learn to attach the dopamine to the effort. Step 2. No end zone dance. When you do get a win, a big one, don't let yourself get manic. Don't throw the biggest party in the world and stay up for 3 days. Stay laid back. Take the win, clean the dishes, and relax. Understand that a post-success low is coming. If you accept the dip, the scale resets faster. If you try to fight the dip by chasing another high, you will burn out your receptors and end up back in the void. Step 3. Kill the phantom timeline. You must burn the map you drew at 20. You need to look at your messy, unfinished life and realize that this is it. This isn't the rehearsal. Stop trying to get somewhere. When you stop trying to get somewhere, you finally have the energy to be somewhere. Step 4. Live symbolically. Jung believed that after awakening, the self speaks through nudges, resonance, and synchronicities.
Stop asking, what is my 5-year plan? And start asking, what is quietly calling me right now? Does it feel honest to go for a walk? Does it feel truthful to write that email? Motivation 2.0 isn't a lightning bolt. It's a quiet inner pull. It's not adrenaline, fear. It's alignment, truth. Your capacity to tap into dopamine as a motivator, not just as a reward, is infinite, but it requires you to trust the silence. It requires you to realize that you aren't behind. You are exactly where your choices, your biology, and your timing have placed you. The heaviness you feel right now is just the friction between who you are and who you're pretending you need to be. Let go of the pretend. The real you is much lighter. You aren't a broken machine. You are a machine that is being upgraded. You've moved past the coal and steam of ego ambition, and you're being rewired for the solar power of the soul. It feels slow because it's deeper. It feels quiet because it's more powerful. Take a breath. Look at your hands. You aren't late. You aren't behind. You are simply metabolizing a new way of being. When you're ready to step out of the waiting room, you don't need a map. You just need to take the next honest step. If you've been in the goo phase, I want you to leave a comment with the word metabolizing. Let's remind each other that the stillness is sacred. And as always, thank you for being here. Now, go be exactly where you are.